The Galactic Council's observation deck hummed with sophisticated energy shields and quantum processors, a testament to 10,000 years of technological advancement. Representatives from dozens of species mingled beneath crystalline domes that filtered the harsh light of three suns, their conversations a symphony of translated languages discussing trade routes, territorial disputes, and the latest developments in antimatter manipulation. Ambassador Zefkar of the hegemony noticed the human first, not because Marcus Chen was particularly imposing, but because of what hung from his belt. While every other delegate carried plasma weapons, neural disruptors, or molecular deconstructors, the human bore a simple leather pouch. As Chen moved through the crowd, Zefkar caught glimpses of rough, unpolished stones nestled within. Fascinating, Zefkar's translator buzzed as he approached, his four eyes gleaming with amusement. I was unaware that Earth had regressed to pre-industrial status. Chen turned, his weathered face creasing into a slight smile. Excuse me? Your weapons. Zefkar gestured with one of his 6 arms toward the pouch. Surely humanity has developed beyond hurling rocks at their enemies. A small crowd began to gather, drawn by the hegemony ambassador's tone. High Counselor Vexith of the Dominion floated closer, her energy form pulsing with curiosity. The human carries primitive tools, she observed, her voice like crystalline wind chimes. How quaint. Perhaps it's ceremonial, suggested Trademaster Kolux, his insectoid mandibles clicking, a reminder of their barbaric past. Chen remained silent, studying each speaker with calm brown eyes. Around them, more delegates pressed closer, their sophisticated scanning equipment and enhanced optics all focused on the unremarkable stones in his pouch. Demonstrate them, Zefkar demanded, his amusement growing. Surely these weapons pale before proper technology. He activated his personal shield generator, a shimmering barrier of pure energy that could deflect starship-grade weaponry. I don't think that's wise, Chen said quietly. Nonsense, Vexith chimed. Our defensive systems are capable of withstanding nuclear bombardment. What harm could stones possibly inflict? The crowd murmured agreement. Several delegates activated their own protective systems, quantum barriers, temporal distortion fields, hard light armor that could stop antimatter rounds. The observation deck's safety protocols engaged automatically, creating an arena of sorts around the gathering. Chen sighed and reached into his pouch, withdrawing what appeared to be an ordinary piece of dark, volcanic glass. No energy signatures, no technological enhancements, no quantum entanglement or molecular manipulation, just a stone, napped to a sharp edge by patient human hands. This is obsidian, he said, his voice carrying clearly through the translator network. Volcanic glass. Humans have been working with it for over 2 million years. Snickers rippled through the crowd. 2 million years? To these species, that was barely yesterday. Their civilizations had been splitting atoms when Earth's humans were still discovering fire. And this, Chen continued, producing another stone, is flint, excellent for sparking fires and creating tools. He held up a third stone, smooth and round. River rock. Perfect weight distribution. Zefkar's laughter boomed across the deck. You jest. These are toys compared to our weapons. Observe. He drew his sidearm, a sleek device capable of disintegrating matter at the molecular level, and fired at the deck's reinforced testing platform. The blast left a crater 3 meters wide. Impressive, Chen acknowledged. But consider this. Your weapon requires power cells, manufactured components, rare elements mined from 17 different star systems. It needs regular maintenance, calibration, and eventually replacement. He hefted the obsidian in his palm. This stone will cut as sharply today as it did when my ancestors first knapped it. It requires no power source, no ammunition, no maintenance. It cannot malfunction, cannot be hacked, cannot run out of energy at a critical moment. Pretty philosophy, Vexith said dismissively. But against our defenses, your stones are useless. Chen's expression didn't change. Would you like to test that theory? The challenge hung in the air like ozone before a storm. Zefkar's 4 eyes gleamed as he stepped forward, his personal shield humming at maximum power. By all means, human. Throw your rock. Chen didn't throw it. Instead, he moved, not with the enhanced speed of genetic modification or cybernetic augmentation, but with the fluid precision that came from millennia of human evolution. His arm whipped forward in a motion older than civilization, perfected by countless generations who had survived ice ages and continental shifts using nothing but stone and sinew. The obsidian shard left his hand at a velocity that made the gathered aliens blink in surprise. It struck Zefkar's energy shield and impossibly passed through. The shield had been designed to stop energy weapons, particle beams, and projectiles moving at significant fractions of light speed. It had not been programmed to recognize a simple stone as a threat. The shard's modest velocity and non-metallic composition allowed it to slip through the quantum barriers like a whisper through a hurricane. It embedded itself in Zefkar's ceremonial chestplate with a sound like breaking crystal. The silence that followed was absolute. Zefkar looked down at the obsidian protruding from his armor rated to withstand plasma cannon fire. A hairline crack ran from the point of impact across the entire chest piece. "Impossible," he whispered. Chen retrieved another stone from his pouch. The river rock this time. "Human weapons evolved to defeat human defenses," he said calmly. "For millions of years we fought each other with whatever we could find. We learned to make shields from whatever was available, and weapons to defeat those shields." He hefted the rock experimentally. "Your defenses are sophisticated, yes, but they're designed to counter sophisticated threats. Sometimes the simplest solution is the most effective." Vexith's energy form flickered with something that might have been respect. "The stones. They bypass our shields entirely." "Exactly," Chen smiled. "Your technology assumes your enemies will use technology. But humans? We've been killing things with rocks since before we had fire. It's what we're good at." Trademaster Kolux clicked his mandibles thoughtfully. "The psychological factor alone. Who would expect a stone weapon in an age of antimatter?" "That's the other advantage," Chen agreed. "Underestimation. You assumed primitive meant inferior, but sometimes primitive means proven, sometimes primitive means reliable, and sometimes—" He glanced around the now silent crowd of delegates. "Sometimes primitive means effective." Zefkar carefully extracted the obsidian from his armor, holding it up to catch the filtered sunlight. The edge was still razor-sharp, the stone unchanged by its impact. "How do you say it in your language?" the hegemony ambassador asked quietly. "Humanity, fuck yeah." Chen's grin was answer enough. As the crowd dispersed, many delegates made quiet notes in their personal files. The human delegation's status was quietly upgraded in several databases. And across the galaxy, military strategists began considering a troubling question. What other primitive tactics might humanity employ? After all, they reasoned, any species that could turn rocks into armor-piercing weapons probably had a few more surprises hidden in their ancient toolkit. They were, of course, absolutely right.